good morning, welcome back. Children, in this video, we are going to discuss about outbreeding devices. Now, why are we studying this? Why this topic has to be discussed here? Because we have seen in the previous video that due to inbreeding and inbreeding depression, the results are very bad. We don't get good results, we don't get good fertility in plants. So to overcome these problems, we have certain outbreeding devices which we will be studying here in this topic. Now children, you see hermaphrodite flowers. What are hermaphrodite? That means bisexual flowers. Now they are bisexual, both male and female parts are present in the same flower. So they actually can undergo autogamy or self-pollination. I'm not saying that every time they will go perform self-pollination or autogamy, but chances of autogamy are higher because the facilities have been provided that both male and female part are present in the same flower, right? So the chances of autogamy or self-pollination is higher. That means inbreeding will the chances of inbreeding are also higher, right? So continued self-pollination, if continued inbreeding is going on or continued self-pollination is going on, this will result into inbreeding depression, which we have already explained you in the previous video. Now to avoid self-pollination and to encourage cross-pollination, there are some devices in the plants which are called outbreeding devices. Now let's see what are those outbreeding devices. Number one, the first one is avoiding synchronization. Now children, always remember that the benefit of autogamy or self-pollination is only because the stigma and anther are very present in the same flower, and the pollen can easily move on from the anther of that flower to the stigma of the same flower, right? And the chances of autogamy will be higher. But the first outbreeding device is that the synchronization should be avoided. What do you mean by synchronization? Children, that means the maturity of pollen and the maturity of stigma, or the receptivity of the stigma, should not be at the same time. That means if the pollens are mature now, so the stigma should not be ready to receive. Or if the stigma is ready to receive, the pollens are not matured. So if there is no synchronization between the pollen and the stigma, then even if the pollen come and sit on the stigma, there is no use because the self-pollination will not occur. So this is what is avoiding synchronization. Now you see here, the pollen is released before the stigma becomes receptive. That means pollen have been received, but the stigma is not receptive. It is not ready to receive the pollens. Or the stigma has become receptive, but pollens are not matured or they are not released. So this is what is called avoiding synchronization. So this will help to avoid self-pollination. The second one is arrangement of anther and stigma at different positions. Now you see, if the anther and stigma are not placed at the same height, or they are at different positions, then the chances of pollen to get onto the stigma will be again lesser. Suppose the anther is small but the stigma is quite long, so again the chances of pollen to land onto that stigma will be rare. So this arrangement can also help to avoid self-pollination. Then next is self-incompatibility. Now what is self-incompatibility? It is genetic mechanism. It is actually present in the genes. It is genetic mechanism to prevent self-pollen. okay, from the same flower or other flower of the same plant from fertilization by inhibiting the pollen germination or pollen tube growth in the pistil. Now, what is self-incompatibility? The gene, there is a particular gene which will be present in the plant. Now, that gene will not allow the pollen of the same flower or the pollen of the flower from the same plant to germinate onto the stigma. Even if the pollen has come, even if the stigma and pollen are synchronized, even if the pollen has come and settled onto the stigma, but due to the some genes present in the plant, those genes will release out certain chemicals or certain hormones which will not allow the pollen of the same flower or of the flower from the same plant to come and germinate onto the stigma, or even if it has germinated, it will not allow the pollen tube to grow and reach to the pistil. So this is again a device which will help to avoid self-pollination. Next is the best one is that the production of unisexual flowers. If the flower is unisexual, of course this problem of self pollination or this danger that the self pollination may occur is avoided automatically. So if male and female flowers are present on the same plant, that is if it is monoecious, examples are castor and maize, it prevents autogamy, but it will not prevent geitonogamy, because geitonogamy can occur because they are present on the same plant. Male part is also on the same plant, female part is also present on the same plant. So autogamy is avoided, but geitonogamy is not avoided. So there can be other devices like incompatibility can be there, or self synchronization may be avoided. So these are the certain outbreeding devices. Now you see here, but if the plant is dioecious, now we have discussed if the plant is monoecious, autogamy will be avoided, but geitonogamy won't be avoided. But if the plant is dioecious, as in papaya, male and female flowers are present on different plants. So both autogamy and geitonogamy are avoided. So this will help to prevent self-pollination and also inbreeding depression.